Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. I haven't done like a sit down video in such a long time. I have been filming so many reading vlogs, but I wanted to sit down today because I haven't done a sit down video in so long, and it's actually my 29th birthday today. Oh my god. I wanted to hang out with you guys and talk about my favorite books I have read this year so far. A lot of people on BookTube have been filming and uploading their mid-year book tag video, which cool, love that for them. Not for me though. I wanted to sit down and gas bag about my favorites and encourage you to read them if you haven't already. If you have been watching me since my makeup days, I started this YouTube channel when I was 21. What? And if you have been watching me since I started booktubing, I was 24. Like, I just cannot deal with how fast time is going and how much social media has changed in just, you know, less than 10 years. It's madness. This year has been an interesting year with reading, to say the least, because I definitely decided to take a step back from filming, being on social media, putting any sort of pressure on me to read for recommendations. I decided to prioritize writing this year instead of creating content, and that has been a journey on its own. But what I have discovered with not having any pressure on me to upload and give you guys recommendations, I have done a lot of rereading this year. This year has been a rereading fucking marathon. When I was going through my Goodreads list to pick out my favorites that I have read this year, I was like, wow. My favorites of this year have been rereads that I talk about every single year, like the Camorra Chronicles, Amo Jones Elite Kings Club series, like lots and lots of rereads, which has obviously been needed and I've really enjoyed. But amongst the rereads, I have found some fucking incredible books that I am diehard for, that have become my all-time favorites, which reminds me, I definitely need to do an all-time favorites standalone video. Like, I haven't done one in years. I think the last one was 2021, possibly. It's time. But yes, I'm just rambling today because I'm so excited to be filming and talking to you guys and just sitting and hanging out. And I'm sorry if the lighting's really bad and if the exposure of the video is bad. This is reality. I don't care about upholding a perfect image for social media anymore. I never really did care. I did a little bit, but I kind of like being a hot mess. I embrace the chaos because I am chaos. First book I want to talk about is War and His Queen by Amo Jones. So this released at the beginning of the year. I believe it was January. And your girl was pumped the fuck up to read this baddie. Because, hello, The Elite Kings Club is one of my all-time favorite series. I've reread it like 3 times at this point, and I just love Amo Jones's fuckery. She's one of a kind. Her books are not for everyone, that is for certain. But if you're a lover of her, you understand the hype. She is just incredible, incredible. Her male heroes, wow. Like, they really know how to blur freaking lines. No, they don't just blur lines, they light those lines on fucking fire and burn them to ash, bitch. War and His Queen is the first book in the Carpe Noctem series, which is the spin-off, aka the Next Generation series of the Elite Kings Club. And I will say right now with straight up fucking confidence, do not read Carpe Noctem without reading the Elite Kings Club. Like, you can. You can, but don't, because the journey that you're about to embark on when you pick up Silver Swan, unlike anything else. Thank me later. Thank me later. But War and His Queen, War and His Queen is a forbidden brother's best friend romance, okay? There's been a pact between the children that no one gets down with either of them. One reason is because a lot of them are related, and that would be incest. And the other reason is because War needs to put a no-go zone on Halen. And the entire story is them just kind of fucking around with each other. It's filled with the typical Amo Jones bullshit, heaps of toxicity, but also unreal sexual chemistry. I thoroughly enjoyed this. So much to the point that I have read this 3 times this year. I read it twice when it first released, and I reread it recently, I think it was last week, because she has been dropping hints and lots of snippets. We know that the following book in the Carpe Noctem series is up and coming. She's writing it right now. It'll be released hopefully this year. So I'm excited for Priest and Luna, and I wanted to do a reread so I could like highlight their little moments together. Priest is going to be insane, and I'm so psyched and ready for it. And we have Fourth Wing, which I was late to the bandwagon. I know I'm not usually a fantasy reader, but I definitely explored the genre this year, and what I read from the romantasy genre I really loved, and Fourth Wing was just something fucking else. I loved the first book more than the second. I'm excited for the third. I solely enjoy this novel for the fucking dragons. Like, give me a dragon right now. Put me in Fourth Wing so I can have my own dragon. I really loved the dragons. I couldn't give a fuck about the entire plot, but I'm here for the dragons, and I just loved Xaden. Xaden was everything and more. The cliffhanger on the second book though, stop it. I'm waiting for 2025, bitch. The fact that we have to wait and Onyx Storm is getting released next year, I cannot. I want it now. I want it now. But I absolutely loved this so much. If you haven't read Fourth Wing, I think you're living under a rock, because I feel like everyone has read it. And I will say with confidence that I think that this will get picked up for a movie. I can see it already. It's insanely popular. Like, everyone loves it and has read it. I read the epic masterpiece Manacled this year, and wow. Reading Manacled was something I have never experienced before. It was kind of like I discovered romance for the first time. This opened the door to fan fiction, and I spent a solid 6 weeks back to back reading fan fiction. I discovered some of my favorite stories of all time. If you're not a fan fiction reader, I suggest you give it a go, especially if you're slumping. Girl. But you have to have some sort of knowledge about Harry Potter to read any sort of fan fiction. My favorite fan fiction is when it's like post-war and Voldemort 1. Gets me going every time, boo. But Manacled is that, and it's kind of like Harry Potter meets The Handmaid's Tale. And Hermione gets placed in Draco Malfoy's home to bear children for him. And that is all I'm saying. This is a beast of a fanfiction, but I've read nothing like it. Like, it's just insanely good and well written beyond belief, bitch. Like, I cannot believe that this author, I'm pretty sure she wrote this on her phone while she was postpartum with her baby. What? When I was postpartum with my baby, I couldn't even string a sentence together. I couldn't even, I wasn't human. So hats off to her for writing this masterpiece during that time of her life. And because I discovered Manacled, I read Secrets and Masks. Secrets and Masks, I cannot deal. This is one of the best dark romances I have ever read in my fucking life. It gives off like mad mafia vibes. Like, it's weird. The whole Death Eater thing totally speaks mafia vibes to me. But it's post-war again, and Hermione has turned into like a badass soldier, and she's just like, hocus pocus, bitch, nailing everyone, and Voldemort wants her. He gets Draco, the Demon Mask, a Death Eater, to capture her, and Draco has to kind of like keep her captive in his mansion with all his friends to turn her into a secret weapon for the Death Eaters. Oh my god. People will argue with me that this is not a happy ever after, but it is in my mind, and you guys should fucking read it regardless. It's so good. It's honestly so good. Such a good dark fantasy. Just, oh. I really wish I could wipe my memory and read this again for the first time. It just gave me all the feels. Like, I was just... I was obliviated, bitch. I was on another planet. I was delulu. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. I wasn't shitting or showering. I was doing all those things, yes, but just on like a very minimal, small scale. Sinners consumed and sinners condemned, okay? Wow. I cannot believe I read Sinners Anonymous last year and DNF'd it because of the bird talk. I am such a critical bitch when it comes to mafia, because, you know me, I'm a mafia queen. I love mafia romances. I'll always be a mafia romance hoe. But Raph and Penny take the cake. Like, they very easily slotted up into best mafia romances of all time. I loved this so much. So we've got Penny, who is a swindling, runaway casino hoe. Okay, she's just like on the grind, baby. Swindling men, taking them for their money, just doing her damn thing. And she walks into her old town and tries to swindle Raph. not knowing who Raph is, and he's a mafia boss man, okay? And the tension and chemistry between these two is so amazing. I loved the author's writing style too, very like flowy, lyrical, like, ooh, you know when you read certain books and you're just like, that writing style, I could fucking eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, it's just beautiful, just seeps into your brain, like just melts in there and just like, I don't know, makes a cake. I don't know what I'm saying, but this was great. Great, great, great. Loved it so much. Loved every minute of it. Couldn't get enough of it. I want more from this series. And Raph was swoon-worthy McGee, bitch. Don't get it twisted. He was divine, darling, divine. I was feeling all the feels, the mafia madness, baby. I was in it. And it sparked a whole mafia readathon for me. So during that mafia readathon, I read Accidental Witness by Sam Mariano, which is book 1 of the Morelli family. I filmed an entire reading vlog, which also sparked my reading vlog journey here on my channel. And this was a series of 7 books. There's actually 8, but I only read 7 of them in 5 days. So you can kind of put 2 and 2 together. I was delulu at the best of times. This is everything to me. Because of this series, Sam Mariano became one of my favorite authors. She just writes unapologetically. Like, she writes the darkest shit, the shit that a lot of people complain about in romances, she writes it. And I love that. I miss reading fucked up shit in fucked up dark romances. Like, I just miss it. I feel like people are too cookie cutter now and they're too scared to write what they really want to write, which pisses me the fuck off. Like, I miss the days. Don't get me wrong, okay? Don't twist my words. I love that romance has become as popular as it has. And it's done so much for the industry and so much for the authors. And, you know, look at all the movies that are getting made and the TV shows that are getting made. And look at all the books landing on bookshelves. Like, local independent bookshelves. Our indie bitches are now there. We can buy them from our bookstores. Like, it's doing amazing things. But with that success has come growth, a larger audience, a lot of young minds who want to dig into your fucking brain, pull out your shit and question you and interrogate you and ask you why you enjoy certain books. And you can get cancelled if you're an author and you write that your character farted. Like, it's just insane. Sam Mariano hasn't succumbed to that pressure. Okay, and she's just like, I'm writing what I want to write. And she discloses before every novel that she's going to write really twisted psychos. And don't take this as a blueprint of what sort of fucking relationship you should have. And I love it. Mateo fucked me up. Vince fucked me up. Mia fucked me up. Meg fucked me up. This series is insane. And if you have not read it, my God, girlfriend, my God, you need to read it right this second. It is one of the best mafia series I have ever read. When you're reading this series, you do not know what's going to happen next. And the fuckery. There's just so much fuckery. Your head is just spinning, bitch. It's been blown. Like, it's just, oh my God. We have Mia, who's in high school. She gets tangled up with Vince. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. I loved this. It was just, this here is me. If I could put myself in a book, this is what I love. Like, I just love unconventional shit. You know who I am. I don't give a fuck if there's a happy ever after. I don't give a fuck if the characters are doing the most twisted shit that I should get locked up for because I'm reading it and I enjoy it. Like, that's just, I love wild, buck wild shit. And I feel like I can dabble in the cookie cutter, vanilla fluff, but I am sick, twisted bitch at heart, and this just filled that cup up, baby. I was refilling and sucking it from the straw, refilling and sucking it through the straw. Like, I just loved it. Anyway, and I read Rena Kent's Legacy of God series, which, you know, I'm still on the fence about. Not the best, not the greatest. I don't quite understand the hype, but I do understand the hype for God of Fury. Stop! I am now in a male-male romance spiral. Like, you cannot pry me from this spiral, no matter what. You could pay me and I would still deny the money, no matter how much money I need right now, and stay in the spiral. Because God of Fury just sparks something in me. There's something so erotic and beautiful and just like lustful about a male-male romance, like 2 men coming together. I'm scissoring when they're 2 men, not 2 girls. Just dick galore, like sausages everywhere. I love it. I love it. I love it. God of Fury was just incredible. It stands completely on its own, separate to the series. Nikolai is such a unique character. He's a psychopath that is like bathed in Rays of Sunshine. It's just the most interesting character arc I've ever read, and I loved him so much. And then you have Brandon, who is mentally struggling, okay? I do suggest you read the entire series because even though I don't love the series, little Easter eggs you read to do with these two characters just makes this so much better. So just do what you will with that. Either read it on its own or read the whole series. I don't know, but just read this because you'll love it. And because of that, I read For the Fans recently, and I've got a reading vlog coming up to do with For the Fans. You'll see it soon, and just male romances in general. But hands fucking down is For the Fans one of my favorite books of all time. Not just this year, all time. This was just so good. And I'm like, hey baby, whatever you fucking put in this, give it to me in an IV so I can hook it to my vein. Like, I want more of this. I need to read her entire backlist. But wow, this was just emotionally traumatic, but low-key the spiciest shit I've ever read in my life. Like, male spice is unbelievably hot because they're just rough and dominant, and you're just like, whoa, and you're just like, whoa, I am attracted to masculinity. When I read two men on one page go at it, I'm just like, whoa, this is doing so much for me right now. But wow, though so smutty, and For the Fans, you get the gist. The emotion in this book, bitch, I was crying. And I don't cry. I was crying and I don't cry. For the Fans is about Avi and Kyron, and they become stepbrothers as teens, and they fucking hate each other. Okay, it is a full-blown enemies to lovers situation. Avi is fluid when it comes to his sexuality, and he's just this artsy kind of go with the flow dude that smokes a lot of weed. And Kyron is like the picture perfect quarterback, and he's like gunning to get picked up by the NFL, and he's just like go go go. He has this image he needs to uphold, but deep down he is battling some crazy ass demons. The family goes broke. Avi starts an OnlyFans, right? And he's making money to get through college, and there's an incident that occurs when they start making content together, and just pick it up, okay? Just read it if you haven't already. It is amazing. It's super long though. Like, it almost took me a week to read, but I didn't care. And now they just live rent-free in my head. Like, every day I listen to a song and I just picture Avi and Kyron. Like, God of Fury was good, but this is the blueprint, stock standard amazingness for male romance. And also the tragedy of Felix and Jake, or Jake and Felix. I just read this. I just finished this. Also coming up in a vlog. And addiction. This deals with addiction. We have Jake, who has been booted from the military for relapsing, and he goes to like an AA meeting and meets Felix. And Felix is very similar to Nikolai and Avi in the sense that he's kind of like this ray of sunshine, but also battles a lot of stuff. And yes, Jake is riddled with drug addiction as well as Felix, and they find love in a hopeless fucking place, bitch. And it is hard to read, but I don't want to say too much because you'll see the reading vlog very soon. But this is also a favorite of the year, and that is it, bitch. They're my favorite books I have read this year so far. As I said, I have done a lot of rereading, so that's why the list isn't extravagant, but these are incredible and I loved every minute. Let me know in the comments below your favorite books that you have read this year so far. If I haven't read them, I want to check them out. That is it, bitch. I hope you have a good day, a good week, a good year, a good month, a good life. I hope you have a good life, and I'll see you when I'm looking at you next. Bye.